Hi, this is Keaton89 with another one of my figure reviews. This is for a 1/12 scale Storm Collectables bootleg Ken Masters figure. This is unbranded from AliExpress, as you can clearly see by the packaging. It's been bounced around. Richie Figs would certainly love this. Say, is it just my figures? No, it's not. It is yours. This is the second one of these bootlegs that I've received. That's had damaged packaging. The quality of the packaging isn't great, but from first impressions, the figure, it looks surprisingly good. It's just like the Zangief that I've reviewed previously on this channel. It's the same company by the looks of it, but there's no official branding on the packaging. It's just a QR code, which if you want to scan that one, you can and see for yourself. No packaging, just a picture on the side of the box of Ken Masters, and the back, I believe it's a duplicate copy of the original Storm box from Storm Collectables. So we'll see how we get on. I'll just pause the video there and we'll have the packaging open. And here we are, out of the box. First impressions, wow. Whoever did the Zangief, and I will just bring this in slightly to the side, whoever did the Zangief version really upped their game. This is better than Zangief by a mile, first off. Okay, so what we'll have a look at first is the accessories. So it comes with a figure stand, multiple parts. I'm guessing that's to hold up the Hadouken effect. So we'll put that to one side for the moment. We'll look at the flaming fist first. This is actually a two-part effect that I believe you just put around the fist, which is as standard on the figure, and then you kind of plug it around the hand. I've literally just futzed it once, and again it just sticks together, so that I'm not having a really great look where it goes. It just seems to click together. So again, it's really soft rubbery plastic, and this, I have to be honest, if you wanted to use this as a longer fire fist on the Storm Arena Ken Masters, I've got to be honest, you would be well advised maybe to invest for this figure for parts. I mean, to be honest, this looks better than the Storm Arena fist, which just basically clips on the back of the hand. This surrounds the fist, so you could fudge that quite easily. The detail on it is very impressive. I'll just bring it close to the camera. Now I'm looking through the viewfinder. It's really impressive, the detail on this. So yeah, I'm got to be honest, I would put that on the Storm Arena figure all day long. That looks really cool. Okay. Second one I want to look at is this fireball. Again, I'm no experience of Storm Arena. Excuse me, please excuse me. I've no experience of Storm Collectables version of this figure that it's actually based on, but it comes in three parts. So you have the internal Hadouken energy hands, which reminds me of the Jada fireball, which comes with kind of like a translucent hands inside the fireball, but this is really soft, spongy rubber, almost like a gel, and you clip it together in three parts. So the top has a peg there that clips in somewhere. Please excuse me, I'm kind of fudging this. So there, that clips in there, and then you just use basically sort of, you know, squeezing it and sort of, you know, fudging it to get the fireball inside, to get the effect inside, and then just basically fudging it into a position where it looks okay. I've no experience, as I said, of the Storm Collectables that this is based on, so I don't know if that's just a static fireball or if it's like this in three parts. Please comment if you know. There's a peg hole which you have to feel for, because it's not like, as I say, hard plastic, so it's not really, you know, hey, easy to plug in, look at me, but it's there. So I presume you can just plug it on and it is just static that holds these together. There's no clips for it, but I'm really impressed. Let's have a look at the detail on these hands. You know, they're impressive. I mean, I won't deny, you know, spongy fingers. It's not a hard plastic piece. The fingers are soft and malleable. So I'm really impressed with this. And this figure was £20 delivered to the UK. I mean, obviously, you know, US shipping, I don't know what that will be, but we get free shipping from AliExpress to the UK. If you look for these figures, you'll find free shipping sometimes, which is what I did. So I'm really impressed with those straight away. That is, you know, straight away you're thinking, I'm going to put that on the Storm Arena. It's going to look really cool, and it hopefully it will, but it might stay on this figure. So we'll look at the hands. We've got 3 selection of hands, 2 kind of similar to each other. We've got open hands there. Again, soft and spongy fingers, but they feel like a Storm Arena figure. Obviously, it's, you know, meant to be from the same company, Storm. So they've bootlegged these really well. Nice detail on them, nice paint texture. So yeah, they're good. And the other hands, we'll have a look at those. Again, same sort of thing. More kind of open grip, but the same kind of, you know, same kind of pose. Again, no paint smudges or anything like that. Really clean. Again, impressive for what they are. And then we've got, of course, the open hands there. Detail on the fingers, the fingernails. So as I said, whoever's making these bootlegs, you know, they've upped their game between the Zangief and this. When I opened this and thought, you know, oh well, it's going to be sort of quality based on what I've seen of the Guile, and it was Richie Viggs that pointed this out to me, which made me sort of take a second look, because I was only originally going to get the Ken. The Guile is a huge step down in quality compared to this that I've seen so far. But yeah, we'll move the hands out of the way as well, and we'll get to the portrait heads that are spare. So we've got an angry head. Again, really great detail on that. Soft hair again. I don't know, again, the accuracy to the Storm Collectables version. I have the Storm Arena, but that's impressive. Will it fit on the Storm Arena head? I've no idea. Something we might try in another video. Sort of part swaps and things like that. So we've got the Game Over You Lose head. A little bit caked in crimson. But that's impressive. I like that. Again, malleable hair. It's not hard plastic. But the hair sculpt and detail is there. Right, and finally, let's have a look at the Stoic head. Again, nice detail there. It's coming off on camera as kind of a light skin tone, but to the eye it's kind of a tan. But you know, I'm really impressed with the detail on that. So let's get everything out of the way and get to the actual figure himself. So let's bring him forward. That is, for £20, an absolute knockout. If you are considering it, passing it by because you've already got the Storm Arena and you've got the Jada, don't. If you haven't got the Storm Collectables, get this. It's really, from first impressions alone, it's worth it. You've got the toe hinge there. Really good quality and detail on the feet. The gi is kind of a harder plastic, but there's some squeeze to it as well. We'll check the bend on that one. So because of the back of the leg, it won't go all the way. but it will go far enough. And again, we'll go see. Oh, here we go, straight off. Well, actually, that helps. So let's see if we can get the legs. That's almost a full split. And that is, it's affecting the peg position. So that's fine. We'll recenter that. No problem. Floating crotch on there. And again, we can see on that. That pops on quite easily. Nice detail on the belt. And there's a little bit of soft squidginess in the chest, but there's a resistance to it, so it's a harder sort of plastic, but it's not as hard as Zangief. Zangief was kind of like, you know, it felt like hard plastic. This doesn't. This feels like a rubbery plastic. So that's really good. Oh, it's falling apart. You can tell I've not messed with these out of the box, but we can just see there. There's easy enough to put back together. No problems. I don't know which is front and back. We'll try that. Stay in. Oh, clips in, pops in quite easily. Okay, so you've got to be careful about your joints, and that's the my takeaway initially from you know, touching this figure is it's falling apart, but that's not a problem if it clips back together. I've got no problems at all. Good thigh swivel on there. Knees are solid. See the other leg on that one. Yeah, again, it's not staying together. But again, that's because of the more you move the legs, the more that that waist joint is going to jump out of position. But that's not a problem for me if you're going to sit it on a shelf. You know, you're not going to move it 100 times. Yeah, that's good, nice. Nice wrist position. There you go, yeah. Okay, that's good. It's only obviously the size of its biceps and the mass of the figure that's creating any problems of getting his arm fully up. But the coloration on the gi, there is some shading to the figure. And wrinkles and detail, so that's fine on that. And again, the head can go down that far. I'm not really sure what to do with this as far as trying to pivot it forward, because obviously that that waist joint will basically make the figure fall apart if you bend it too far. But I'm one of these guys that's just going to either leave them in the box or put them on the shelf and sort of set a position and leave it. So I've got no problem about ab crunches and things like that. I don't give two monkeys as long as it looks good on the shelf. A little bit of a gap more on. Again, I don't really care about this moving around too much. But tell you what, let's just jettison that at the moment and we can get a good look on this and spin it. So again, there's a lot of detail on the arms. And I don't judge this figure as an official release, so I'm not really complaining about it falling apart one bit. As I said, as long as it looks good on the shelf in the pose I put it in, I don't care. And for the money I paid, I don't care. And for the money I paid and from what I've got, am I complaining? Not at all. Not at all. This is, for me, a real surprise and a really pleasant one. Is this worth the money? Yes, absolutely. Does this look better? Here it comes. Than a Jada Ken from Street Fighter 2. Yes, it does. It looks better. And will it scale? Again, we'll do some comparisons in another video, some part swaps and things like that. I'm just here to review the figure from having it literally be delivered 2 minutes ago through the door. So this is what we've got. Am I happy? Yes. Would I order the Guile? That I think is a bit of a... I'll wait and see. I want to have another few looks at the AliExpress listings and a few of the sellers and see if there's any difference to it, if there's any revision, like a version 2 that might look a little bit better. I don't know. The wrist pegs are solid. Detail in the fists is good. But overall, I can't complain. This is a fantastic figure for the price I paid. And that's the key, the price I paid. And I paid £20. Which, you know, your conversion in the US is probably like $28, something like that. $25, $28. On shipping, you'd have to base that on, you know, if you're in the US and you want to pull the trigger on it for the price it is. I would. Got to be honest. I would. If you don't have a Storm Collectables Ken and you're waiting for Storm Arena for Big Bad Toy Store haven't got you one and you can get this in a few days, why not? Why not have this as a companion piece? It's impressive. It really is. Anyway, I'll wrap this video up because I am waffling. For the money, worth every penny. The detail on it is of quality of Storm Collectables. Is it undersized? I believe it's smaller, yes, than the original version, which is not accurately 1/12 scale. It's, you know, Storm's version of 1/12. This, I would say, you could put this in a Street Fighter display with the 6-inch figures and it would work. That's my opinion, without putting it right next to one, because all my Jada figures mainly I keep boxed. Even my Storm Arenas, I took it out for a review and then put it straight back in its box, and it's been sitting on the shelf in the box ever since. So we will do a comparison video later on, but at the moment this is just a review. It's worth it. If you can get it, get it. They're as cheap as chips on AliExpress. That's my review. Am I really happy? Yes. Marks out of 10. Yeah, I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8. It would be a 9 if it didn't fall apart. I've got to be honest. It's just because the waist joint, as soon as you move the legs, it kicks that post out of position and it will come tumbling off the waist. Would it be better if that waist connector, if it was able to snap on a little bit firmer? Yes, that would do it. That would do it. You know, I'm presuming you can take the key off. I don't know. I'm not going to try. I'm just going to leave it. I'm happy with the way it is. I don't need him with a shirtless look. But I think that's going to be your problem, is just that peg. Maybe it should have been a little bit longer. You know, it would have been hidden by the gi. And just be able to clip on to the waist of Ken. A little bit firmer. Maybe a bit of blue tack in there if you want to foots it. But I'm happy that's out of position. Yeah, that is out of position. That's going to take some doing. Do you know what? There. Let's end the review there. £20 to the UK. Free shipping if you can obviously find it for the particular seller. There are without a box and box options. Without a box is going to be cheaper. But I always keep boxes, even if they're flimsy paper cardboard. You know, they're not really meant for travel. But I'm happy. I'm satisfied. Worth every penny. And the accessories, as I say, the Fire Fist, that's going on Storm Arena if it ever comes out the box, because that's impressive. That's better than the Storm Arena version. So there you go. A knockoff is better than a Storm original. So yeah. That Fire Fist alone, I'd have paid sort of $6 to $8 for that alone, if you can find that on eBay. You know, these bootlegs, people are pulling the bootlegs apart, maybe, and selling parts, I don't know. But if you can get one of these and you just want this for your Storm Arena to make it look a little bit more impressive and a little more than just a clip on, yeah, for what I've got, for the money, totally worth it. Totally worth it. I'm not complaining one bit. Even with the figure falling apart, it can be put back together and it can sit on a desk just nice. That's my review. Get it. If you've got the money, if you've got spare money, get this figure. It may be a bootleg. I don't care. Get it. It's better than the Zangief that came before it. Let's slide this in. And they do scale. Excuse me knocking the camera. They do scale together. Zangief is clearly a bigger figure and it's a harder plastic. This is worth the money. Get one. That's my review. Right, this is Keaton Carr. Please share, like and subscribe. Upcoming videos, I believe we're going to do a little collection of my Street Fighter Jada figures because I've just got some new ones in. So we'll do a little video collection of Jada and my other Street Fighter bits, including these. These will be added to my collection because, you know, we've got a couple of Storm Arenas now and a couple of these. So you'll see those in the video. Thanks for watching. Take care.